As a dad, y'all, if we lose it with our children, it is too dangerous. We have to build this emotional capacity. We have to be on this recovery journey of some sort. Whether you're dealing with whether you're dealing with anger, whether you're dealing with alcohol, food, the recovery journey protects our children, protects our family from the most dangerous human in their life. Podcast land,
brothers,
good to be here.
Yes, Yaden, good to see you again, sir.
Likewise, Matt. We are gearing up for this. At the time of this recording, right, we're all gearing up for this like blizzard bomb that's about to hit the East Coast.
Yes.
Everywhere from Pennsylvania down to South Carolina, Atlanta, right? Like, hunker down, stay warm this weekend.
Yes, sir.
So what do we got this week, bro?
Man, we got this theme in the spirit of the recovered dad, this weightlifting, bodybuilding beast of a lion. We got this theme of emotional weightlifting.
You know, I love emotion. I love when you say emotional weightlifting, because I remember when I joined the Liberation Boot Camp, you know, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, whenever it was, right? One of the daily practices for the recovery journey, the core 4, was exercise.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, it's like, oh, exercise, man, I got that on lock.
Right.
Because at that point in my life, I had run a couple marathons. I'd been running. I think I might have finished an Ironman or been training for an Ironman at that point. I'd been training weightlifting, building strength, all these sorts of things. I'm like, oh, exercise? Yeah, done. Easy. Let's go. But you know, the other parts of the core 4, I wasn't quite as adept at those. And when I'm looking at it now through this lens of recovery, of being a dad, and how many times have we talked about on this podcast where for fathers who are struggling with, the reality is you don't have a problem. You have a pain problem.
Yeah.
And the pill that you're reaching for to manage the pain is the aspirin you're taking.
Yes. For
the pain. And the problem is it almost works. It almost works, and everything rushes back in with a vengeance.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I've learned about the recovery journey, and brother out there, I don't think it matters what you are trying to recover from. Whatever your drug of choice is, anger, rage, smoke, nicotine, alcohol, Netflix,
food,
food, whatever the coping mechanism is in your life. You know, all of those, you know, when we're talking about those, like, you know, is one of those, man, it's really scary to talk about that socially. That's why we talk about a lot, to bring it into the light.
Yep.
It's like, it's another coping mechanism that afflicts us as dads. And that was the one I got. Yep. And when we look at it with the light of, you know, the reality is you have a pain problem, not a problem. That really helps us think about recovery like this.
Yep.
The entire point of recovery is building your capacity to sit with the pain and not react.
Yep.
Also, to sit in the go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I'll say, like, one of the key themes that I've identified all through my journey of healthy conscious masculinity has been this theme of expansion. Expansion in terms of my emotional capacity, my physical capacity, my spiritual capacity, my mental capacity, and these practices we work with and we cultivate are all mechanisms that serve in our expansion, in our increase of capacity to be able to sit with and navigate in a conscious way what's present.
Oh yeah. You know, like, think about it from the physical aspect.
Yep.
If you're out there and you do any sort of physical training, and by training I mean like running training, I don't mean like you go play soccer on the weekends, right? That's not what I'm talking about. That's good. but I mean like intentional training. I am increasing my ability to run long distances. I am increasing my ability to run a certain distance faster.
Yep.
I am increasing my capacity to lift heavy stuff and put it back down, right? I'm getting stronger. Last week I did 10 pounds. This week I'm doing 15 pounds, right? Intentionally training to build capacity somewhere.
Yep.
When I got started running, so much pain.
Yeah.
Right? If you are not a runner, it is extremely painful to run. Your lungs are burning, you're sweating, your heart rate spikes. I know. I had a conversation with one of my siblings who this year he's like, oh, I'm going to start running. He got a Garmin watch to track his steps. He started like increasing his runs, and he was sharing with me like, man, he did like a 10-minute run. His heart rate went to like 180.
Yeah.
And me, his brother, I've been running now for almost 10 years.
Yep.
And I have to push really hard to get my heart rate that high.
Mm-hmm.
I can run a 10K and keep my heart rate below 150.
Wow.
Right? Just that's the capacity I've built over years and years of training running.
Yep.
Similar with weightlifting. If you go to the gym and you are lifting weights, right? When you start, first you're just working on your technique, and then you start, right? Matt, you just started working with a trainer, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
And you start small.
Yep.
Because it's painful.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the capacity to lift a whole lot when we start. We build it over time. And there's no difference with the physical training or our recovery training. The recovery process, the recovery work, when you boil it down, it is building your ability, building your capacity to sit with the uncomfortable thoughts, the uncomfortable emotions that show up all the time.
Yep.
Day after day.
Yeah. And what I'd say with that is, so we cultivate the capacity to sit with and be present with these emotions, and we cultivate the ability to respond to them and meet the needs, meet the emotions, take care of ourselves versus reactive, versus reacting, which is what many of us have done, throughout all of our lives, is react to what's there.
Just react, right? It's the process of sitting with the emotions long enough and building that awareness. I think we talked about this on the podcast last week, right? Like sitting with the emotions, you have to be able to sit with the emotions long enough. Not indefinitely. We're not talking like, oh, I'm going to sit here and be miserable for the rest of my life. No. The emotions and the thoughts, they're like the early alert system. They're like, hey, warning. It's like the check engine light on your dashboard, right? And I don't mean the one that you just leave on forever, right? We all know that was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I don't need to do anything about that. It doesn't mean anything. Right? I'm talking about like you get an alert, right? Like your battery died or your engine is overheating. Some sort of alert like that where it's like, oh, emotional flare up, story in your head goes crazy. That's an alert like something just happened.
Yep.
And I need to pause.
Yep.
And really give some space like, okay, what's going on? These are my thoughts. These are my emotions. Mm-hmm. But what is reality? Like if I had to write it down in black and white and turn it into a court as evidence, what is factually going on here? And then we can think about, okay, well, how do I respond to these emotions?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
And dude, like if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. All you dads out there. I remember early on in being a father, man, I would fly into a rage internally, right? I would fly into a rage internally when my, 12-month-old son would be sitting in his high chair and just like drop his spoon over the edge of the high chair. And my mentality was, this is not okay. This is not appropriate behavior. My son is in rebellion. My son is like disobeying. Like he's out from under authority. All these things that were just running through my head. My emotions would react. And I even was talking with, I remember talking with my wife, was like, hey, I want like a wooden spoon so I can like dog training. Like, nope,
Right.
pop.
I had the wooden spoon.
Yeah, right. It's like, and there are books about parenting that advocate training your kids like you're training a puppy.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say I wasn't one of those dads, but I was. That was my mentality. And now I totally understand. It's like, you know what? A 13-month-old, they're just learning what gravity is. They're like, oh my gosh, if I drop this, it falls. That's fascinating. What if I do it again? Is it going to happen again? What about over here? Oh, it does it again. What about if there's food on it? Does that change anything, right? They're just experimenting with life. We take gravity for granted at age 45 or 30, however old you are as a dad. We understand this stuff because we have experimented with gravity enough over the course of decades. Like, we know gravity's a constant. A 13-month-old doesn't, right? They're just like, oh my gosh, what if I do a fork instead of a spoon? What about a cup, right? This is like, does anything change? Letting something go and it falling? We're like, no, it's never going to change. It's always going to make a mess. Stop doing that, right? And those emotions are painful. They're intense. And they keep hitting us over and 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 over again as dads. And the journey of recovery, being a recovered dad, is learning how to notice these emotions, sit with them long enough to figure out what's really going on so I can respond with peace and power, strength and stability, with safety instead of aggression and potential violence, right?
Yaden, is this podcast about addiction or emotional intelligence? Because this emotional intelligence thing continues to be a theme, it seems, week after week.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the stronger we build our emotional intelligence, the better our defenses are against the because it's not a problem, it's a pain problem, and we're using as the pill. We're using the pill. So the more we can work on this aspect of recovery to understand, like, to become more emotionally resilient, more emotionally intelligent, right? The less intense the pain is. The less intense the pain is, and the more space we can have without reaching for the. Something else I'm going through right now is, let's see, let me check my tracker, because I recently decided, you know what? I have to get off nicotine. I have to get off the nicotine. I smoked socially in college. And then, I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that, I just kind of accidentally picked it up again because life was stressful. I'm like, I need a cigarette. And then I was also training for the Ironman. So I'm like, okay, I can't be smoking and riding my bike for 8 hours. So I switched to nicotine gum and then the nicotine pouches. So as of right now, I am 16 days with no nicotine in my life. 16 days with no nicotine. Let me tell you, the first week, painful. Painful. And building that capacity to just sit with the pain, notice what's going on. It's like, oh, I am freaking out because my body's just going through nicotine withdrawals. That's what's going on. And I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay. I can sit with this for a minute. What do I actually need? Because I don't think about nicotine when I'm having fun. I think about nicotine when I'm stressed out. I'm like, why am I stressed out? What's going on? I need a nap. I'm hungry. I want to have a conversation with my wife. I want to connect with my kids, right? That hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Just like with right? When the monster shows up and like, hey man, .com, let's go. It's like, whoa, what's actually going on here? What emotional bruise just got bumped and is flaring up? And as dads, I know I talk about, like, you can be addicted to anger because y'all, a grown man that is not emotionally intelligent is one of, if not the most dangerous creatures on planet Earth.
Amen to that.
Right? What about a shark? It's like, bro, shark don't care.
Right.
They're either hungry or they're not. If they're hungry, they're trying to find food. If they're not, they're just minding their own business.
Yep.
They're not going to get insulted if you yell at them.
Yep.
Humans, on the other hand, take things personally that are not. And as a result, react and then keep reacting. And that leads me to story time.
Ooh, gather round.
Story time, right?
Gather round.
So, part of my day job is commercial real estate. One of the things I do is with commercial real estate property management. And one of the property managers that I work with, I think this was either last week or the week before, shot me a message like, "Hey, are you available for a video call? Need to get on a video call with you as soon as possible." We had a shooting at one of the apartment complexes.
Wow.
So I was like, yes, yeah, video call right away. I hit the video call button on that text message. Got on the video call with her. Come to learn that two adult men, brothers, were visiting their mother. Their mother was the tenant. These two grown. Now, when I say adult men, it could have been 19, could have been 18, right? Legally an adult.
Right.
But they were legal adults visiting their mom. They were not on the lease. And the upshot, pun not really intended, but they got in some kind of altercation to the point where one brother drew his firearm from inside the apartment, shot through the door. Now, I should probably say allegedly.
Yeah.
At this point, right? Allegedly, according to the reports I have read, allegedly shot through the door, hit his brother in the face. Shot his brother in the face. Brother survived. Brother's in the hospital who got shot. Brother who did the shooting is in jail. And the mom in this apartment is just, can you imagine?
Right.
Can you imagine being the mother in this situation, watching your two adult sons, one try to kill the other one?
Right.
And this is in an apartment complex, right? It's like, anyway.
Emotional intelligence.
When I was listening to the property manager share this, I was like, holy crap. Here's an example of what I've been thinking about with this emotional intelligence, with this recovery journey.
Yeah.
Two grown men with the emotional capacity of a teaspoon to sit with emotional, discomfort.
Right.
They didn't have that. The emotions got out of control, more and more uncomfortable, more and more painful, more and more unpleasant, to the point where one brother pulled a gun and shot at his other brother.
Yep. Broke
My heart, because I know what it's like to be in that emotional pain. And as a dad, y'all, if we lose it with our children, it is too dangerous.
Yep.
It is too dangerous. We have to build this emotional capacity. We have to be on this recovery journey of some sort. Whether you're dealing with anger, whether you're dealing with alcohol, food, right? The recovery journey protects our children, protects our family from the most dangerous human in their life.
Eden, I got to ask you, maybe you're planning to get to this, and what to you does this emotional weightlifting journey look like? Like, what's the practice? What's the skill development around this?
Excellent question. And emotional weightlifting, it is a skill that you build just like any other skill. If you want to get to the point where you're going to bench press, 225 pounds, you don't start with 225 pounds and just try and do it. Right. You start with the bar, 45 pounds. Yep. Next week, you add 10 pounds. You get some reps in. You build your capacity over time, but you never practice with 225 if that's your goal. You practice with lighter weight, building your capacity. And too often as dads, we think that we can practice when the stakes are high. We think we can practice when we say to our 4-year-old, hey, time to stop playing with Legos, time to pick up your room. And of course, what 4-year-old wants to stop playing with Legos and pick up their room? I don't, and I'm 45. When it's time to do my chores, I don't want to do them either. And a 4-year-old is going to say, no, I don't want to do that. That's not the time to practice. The time to practice is when we're by ourselves, where if we fail, because we will as we get started, if we fail, there's no fallout. There's no collateral damage. The stakes are low, which is why meditation for me has been such a game changer. Being able to sit in my chair, following the core 4, right? Going for a walk in the morning, reading my book, doing some journaling, sitting in my chair, doing my meditation practice, because I am practicing noticing my thoughts and noticing my emotions. I am getting some reps in for sitting with the uncomfortable emotions.
That's it.
Where if I can't, I'm like, you know what? I can't do this for 10 minutes today. Like 30 seconds. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I got to go do something else. So I'm too wound up. So what?
I gotta to supplement. So we build the core 4 right into the Liberation Boot Camp, and every man that's part of our community actively. We work the daily core 4. We check in on it. It's part of our daily metrics, and we track it. A wonderful tool we've developed here as part of the community to supplement this practice is one Yaden speaks to often. It's kind of tied to the whole thing. It's the Father's Freedom Formula.
Yeah.
So we've got a free download for you over on the Recovered Dad website, recovereddad.com, which walks you through, I think, these steps of emotional intelligence, seeing with clarity when the emotions are high, tuning into our why, tuning into what's present, tuning into what am I really needing right now, and learning to respond versus react, which is what we've kind of touched on here today.
Learning to respond versus react. And fathers out there, this is the work. This is the work of being a recovered dad. This is the work that builds freedom from pornography. This is the work that builds a closer connection with your children. This is the work that builds the safety and the connection with your wife. This is the work. When I joined Liberation Boot Camp, all I wanted was out of my life. That's it. What I found was a better version of myself. At every level. And brother, if that's you, if you're looking to grow, check us out at therecovereddad.com, right? Find us on Instagram. Look it up. Recovered Dad is the handle, right? You can find me. I'm Yaden Smith, like Matt Sinkovitz. We're not hard to find online. If you found this podcast, you can find us elsewhere. But wherever you are, dad out there, your family is worth it. Your kids are worth doing the work to become a recovered dad. Your marriage is worth it. We don't get a second. There is no, what's the theater term? This is not a dress rehearsal.
Right.
This is not a dress rehearsal.
Right.
This is the real deal.
That's it.
And take advantage of what you have now to do the work, to grow in relationship, to build that capacity, get freedom from and change your life, man. Change your life.
Watch how it translates to every facet of your life.
Yeah.
What I'll propose.
Translates to every facet of your life.
Yep.
So, Matt, anything else to wrap up?
No, brother, man, that's good.
That's where we are for today. Like the emotional resilience, the emotional capacity, that is the name of the game.
Yeah. And I think about this emotional weightlifting, like what's your daily practice? Like what's the way you're going to put those daily reps in? Daily core 4, daily Father's Freedom framework, working through those steps when you feel those emotions rise and putting them into practice. That's the reps, man.
Yep. That is the reps.
Yep.
All right, fathers out there, thanks for tuning in to the Recovered Dad podcast. We will catch you on the next episode.
Thank you, brothers. Peace.
Power.
Boom.
Global men.
See you guys.